It's May 17th. It's the midweek episode. We got some conversations to be had. We may guess the lineup at the end. The vibes are good. We look good. Let's talk some Yankees baseball, baby.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, presented by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake. In the corner, we have producer BBD. All three of us wearing short-sleeve collared shirts today, dressed for success because the Yankees are great, or dressed for the warm weather and all desperately trying not to wear cotton, and these are the shirts that are available to us. That's how I chose my outfit. I have that shirt, Jake. It's a nice one.
I have shirts.
Prove it.
Currently am.
This freeze frame of us playing floorball yesterday, I looked at that last night and just laughed a lot.
Can't believe I saved that ball, can you?
I can. I have a lot of faith in you.
How many times did you watch it sneakily thinking, like, no way he
Once.
saved that
I
ball?
zoomed in,
Yeah.
and once I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
And then, no, it just we have a floorball tournament coming up in like a month and a half, and you guys won't see it till September. But anyway, we've been practicing in the office, and Jake going knee pads, motorcycle gloves, and helmet. Like this positioning by you just it's awesome. It cracks me up.
Thank you.
Yankees win. It's a 4-game set, so we will be allowing ourselves to talk about yesterday's game a little bit to make the next episode a little easier. But also, I have to tell you about SeatGeek. If you live in the Baltimore area, and you want to go watch them hit a bunch of home runs and beat the Orioles, go to SeatGeek. And the Baltimore area is pretty big. When I lived in Connecticut, I drove down for a game, but I don't mind a 5-hour car ride. But it was awesome. SeatGeek, they got the app. They got the website. They let you know what are you getting bang for your buck. And they sponsor a lot of the stuff we're doing here. They partnered with us. We like them. Code YANKS gets you $20 off your first purchase. How you doing?
James, BBD, everyone live in the chat. All of your cousins. Send a text to your cousins today. Say, what up?
What up?
What up? How are things? That's a good text. Jim, I'm doing well. Our Yankees continue to look good. Camden Yards is a farce. Except for Jose Trevino. How about that? Our king goes off the foul pole. That was pretty awesome. I'm doing well. Yeah, you mentioned some floorball, hockey season big in the city. LGR, let's go Rangers.
Oh, also, if anyone is a Yankees fan and also a New York Giants fan, check out Talkin' Giants. Want to give them some love. They just had an in-person interview with
Andrew Thomas, starting left tackle. First-round pick from a couple years ago. Bobby, Andrew Thomas, and Justin Pennick in our van.
Our Sprinter van, yeah. A lot of people do that. It is just because like it's easy. Like a lot of people make it into a gimmick.
It's kind of a football thing now.
Yeah, it is. But but that was just like we have a Sprinter van, so it works.
Yeah.
So go check out that interview on YouTube or Talkin' Giants podcast if you're also a Giants football fan.
The Giants best player.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Pretty cool.
Cute.
Yankees best player, Aaron Judge?
Yeah, didn't play yesterday. And we didn't play yesterday. No one really minded. No. The Yankees still won. And that's a great place to be. And that is not where we were, obviously, on Easter, on that Baltimore series when they still needed to establish the dominance, and just they might have known it was coming and laughed at everyone and all of us for overreacting, but I still think it was quite fair. Like, you needed to, do it first. Once you have a 5-game lead or whatever in May, sure, do a little more dancing.
Jim, there's stuff that's bizarre and awesome about this beautiful season. I mean, a lot of the stuff we've been asking for, whether it's aggressive base running, take your rest days after winning a bunch of games. Yeah, man. And let's be honest, it all gets covered up by the Band-Aid of winning. I'd say it on here as often as I can. If the Yankees had lost last night, we say, okay, you're sitting Judge first game in Baltimore? Come on, we're hot. Winning covers everything. It's all working well. And, man, Rizzo with a couple picks yesterday that you're just like, I think Yankee fans, not only do you have the euphoria, a Yankees dominant baseball team multiplied by it being still the start of the season, so our eyes are wide. But it's also, you can look at this team and look back, and you just do a copy and paste to the previous years, and it should never be a shot fired at Luke Voit, who's a really good baseball player, but what Anthony Rizzo does with the glove at first base makes everyone better, and seeing how confident Gleyber Torres playing, it's almost like last year to see if Gleyber didn't go full sad puppy dog at shortstop. And he's like, damn, I've got a pretty good firstman over there. I'm not letting myself do that because Gleyber's looked really good at second base, and we don't need to do that. But, man, you're just reliving some of these moments, that Josh Donaldson bounce throw that Rizzo makes the nice pick on, and you're like, damn, that changes a team. That changes an organization. That changes – we try to measure everything about infield defense and stuff like that. And, I know we can measure picks, but you can't measure the after effect of a third baseman and a first baseman doesn't pick it, and that goes into their next throw. That goes into the next day. And the vibes are immaculate.
They are. Uh-oh, did the stream die?
Hello, my friend.
The vibes are good. Severino, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. And for like the first 4 innings, even Donaldson said in his postgame, the first 4 innings, it was like, he really was kind of searching for it. And then he found it and just blew him by. And they get that really nice Gleyber play in the first inning and bad Mancini run.
Little assist by the O's, but we'll take it.
Yeah. And that changes it. Because, the Gallo strikes out on a nice 3-2 curveball by Bradish or whatever his name is. And they squander that opportunity. And then Baltimore's got an opportunity on a Gallo drop ball and all that. And you're like, oh, man, don't turn this into a messy night. Gleyber makes that play. Mancini messes it up. And then it's like, all right, cool, we're back. That's the confidence we have now, which we did not have last year. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like not much can go wrong. Even when something goes wrong, it feels like we have the ammo to pick it up. And yeah, I mean, it's tough of a start to game for Gallo as you can have. Not that his night got a lot better, but yeah, I mean, we've got another image of teammates picking themselves up, and we talk about my guy Jose Trevino. There's situations in sports where we make up a story and we're like, these two players are really good buds or they're friends. Like the Higgy Trevino stuff is awesome. Talk about two guys that feel like they've had to earn everything along the way. Neither of them ever top prospects. Some straw stuff. Both of them looking for their opportunity, and now here they are with the Yankees, these pitch framing gods. And you genuinely feel an unselfishness from both of them that they are rooting for each other, which is very rare, man. For Trevino, the post-game interviews, whenever he compliments Higgy, first thing, basically he's saying, Higgy taught me how to catch these guys. And then following it up by he hits the homer, he goes over to Higgy, and they have a nice little embrace about it with big smiles. It's like that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
That's all. They get their first home run from the catching position.
Yeah.
So the shortstop position is last to homer. So that probably means Kiner homers tonight. Yeah.
They're one of 2 teams with no shortstop homers.
Who's the other team?
The Nats. Their shortstops are Alcides Escobar and D. Strange Gordon.
Wow.
2 vets.
Yeah, weird group.
Yeah.
But they're fun. Those 2 are fun.
Okay. Well, come on, Kiner. Beat the Nats. Kiner's in a race against the Nats.
Yeah, he's got to beat the Nats. Tough field to homer at for Kiner.
Well, I mean, he does what Trevi does. He's doing that.
Even that.
Just do it by accident.
He's got it. He's got it. Full faith. Full faith. What segment? I didn't write down the segments in order. What do you want to kick it off to first?
Jim, it sounds like you were not Roman ready. Don't be like Jimmy O'Brien, a person that struggles with not being Roman ready.
Damn.
You can be Roman ready by going to GetRoman.com/Yanks. You're probably saying, hey, Jake, what's all this about? It's about erectile dysfunction and your penis not working.
Damn.
And if that's happening, you can address it. We have a solution. This isn't like if you got a hole in your roof, you don't just leave it and say, this stinks. You look for a solution. Now, there's good solutions and there's bad solutions. You throw a towel up there. That's not a real solution. Roman is a real solution. You're fixing that hole the way you know how to, with a fully stiff Schwiener-Schmitchell. 52% of men, Jim, struggle with this, age 40 to 70. They experience some form of ED. Get rid of the stigma. Address it. You got a hole in your roof, fix it. You're not getting blood to your wiener, fix it with Roman. Go to GetRoman.com/Yanks today. If you're prescribed, get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you have the confidence and control this fall to be Roman ready. Jim, I believe we were going to talk about some Gallo and Donaldson, no?
Getting hot, man. Getting hot. Speaking of home runs from position, real quick.
Yeah.
The Yankees are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in home runs from third base in baseball. I wouldn't have guessed they were in the top 10.
Top 10.
If DJ's homers all come on third base days or something.
Maybe.
Ooh.
JD's got what, 2, 3 now?
Does DJ only have
He hit his
one?
5th last night.
Oh, so then DJ's got 1.
If he's got at least 1 or 2.
DJ has one, I think. Right? He's got 2.
1 from second base, maybe?
He got 2. Numbers game.
Okay. Well, as we
50-50 shot.
as we sit here today, Gallo and Donaldson have officially gotten hot.
Yeah.
Hopefully it continues, and hopefully it stays the same. But we're 1 game into the Orioles series, and Donaldson, Gallo, last 10, last 15 games, their numbers looking good.
If I may.
You have them?
If I might. Jim, the date in play here, April 23rd. April 23rd, it was the second game of the Cleveland set, and it's actually the best way to chop up both these guys' numbers. I'll start with Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo had been putrid, wretched, some word that ends in ED. And Jim, the numbers were so bad. He was hitting 122, 234, 356. Now, up through the first game of this Baltimore series, which it does include a bad night last night, from April 23rd, 18 games, 15 starts.
18 games, 15 starts.
245 batting average, 355 on base, a 902 OPS. That's a really quality ball player. 5 home runs, 7 RBI, 11 runs. A 9 walks to 23 strikeouts ratio. Hey, again, coming from where we were with Joey Gallo, this is a major step up. He's felt like a threat at the plate, what we're looking for. The glove stuff, I've said it a lot. The glove stuff still worries me. We need Joey to be glove first. Being a threat actually comes second for where this Yankee lineup is at and where he's going to be in the lineup. So it's something to watch out. I'm not giving him a full pass on yesterday as a fly ball. That left field at Camden does totally freak me out, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it myself.
That didn't come into play on that one.
No, but I mean it's a new outfield, and I saw people tweeting out other excuses, and they end up being excuses because it was raining before the game. They didn't get to take fly balls in the outfield, and it's still a new outfield. So, and it's first inning, like, hey. There's excuses. I'm not giving it to you on this one. That's tough. It's still a fly ball. You don't have to jump at the end. That's like every outfielder's number one sign of it, you don't do that. Like you just got lost at the end. You panicked. It's fine. There are some excuses over there. I don't care about that. The glove. No. The
jump. I actually don't mind that catch because it was on the run.
The glove has to be there at the end of the day, and I do think it will be. In the White Sox series, he looked solid out there. There's just been a couple weird moments, and hopefully we can look back in a month or so. And the offense, the strikeouts and some of the strikeouts are going to torment us. But he has been a threat offensively, and it's just been nice to see.
It's been nice to see, and then there's been some meaningful home runs, and sometimes people only count game tying or go ahead home runs, and that's annoying. I think that is not the way to count clutch. Like, he let the bullpen get breathing room. He turned a save situation into a not save situation. That's a big home run. He had the single to lead to a rally to tie the game, the walk to lead to the rally to tie a game. So I have been happy with when he has reached, got on base, hit the homer. Like, I've been happy with where they come.
And Jim, I think I'll feed it to you on this one. There's been a little bit of bingo. There's been some singles which you talked about on our previous episode of Talkin Yanks. Go check that out. But we don't fully know what to do with it. But there's been more singles recently than there have been in the rest of Joey Gallo's career, which is either fluky or calculated, because the fact that it comes after one of the worst slumps of his career makes us think there's a little bit of calculation.
Yeah, he's got more base hit singles to beat the shift this year already than he had all of last year and all of 2019, his last full season. So that's something. I'd love to believe in that and keep going and think he's going to try and spray the left side of the field when they pitch him outside. So but I don't know if it could just be a small sample size. It could be random. I don't know, but I'm little fingers crossed. Like, yeah, okay, use it. Especially because he's not finding the short porch. He might start finding it and then abandon that. But in times when he's not, if he'll take that outside pitch and go in the gap between short and third, that's fantastic. And
Cameron Maben was all over it on the call yesterday. When Gallo has looked his best this year, he's been up the middle. It's been those left center home runs. He's driving the ball. It doesn't feel like he's aiming for right field. So excited to see how the rest of that develops for Joey. Because, the numbers on the year are still low. Again, you do have to compare it to what's been a down year offensively across baseball. Hopefully there's more developing to the Joey Gallo story, but for now, more than half of the season, he's been a quality baseball player. So that's been awesome to see, and it's how much will he tap into that the rest of the way. Jim, I think the more exciting part of the coin, at least now for Yankee fans, has been the bringer of rain, Josh Donaldson. Josh Donaldson, Jim, you know the date I mentioned for our guy Joey Gallo?
April 24th, second game of Cleveland, the fight on the field, the Glaber walk-off.
April 23rd. Oh. April 23rd, the second game of Cleveland. Also 18 games for Josh Donaldson. 292 batting average, a 410 on base, a 949 OPS. 11 walks, 16 strikeouts, 4 home runs. Josh Donaldson, I had been asking for it because I wanted to see that it was still in there. And, man, he's been living up to it. That opposite field power, again, is different. I know Jose Trevino begs to argue. But, man, with the third base defense that he's been showing off, I mean, Josh Donaldson feels like he's still got that dude in him. And that was kind of one of our questions. He is the oldest player on the Yankees. I mean, he's still got it in the tank, and he looks awesome.
He had the walks. Doesn't he have what's his crazy on base streak? Isn't it 20?
It was 21. Is it 22 as of the first game in Baltimore? I want to say it's 22 as of May 16th.
That's nice.
It's nice.
3 hits yesterday. I've been impressed with his vibes not impressed, I guess, pleasantly surprised or not surprised. I like it. His dugout vibes, clubhouse vibes, seems to be enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Is a guy that from the outskirts, when you just get the highlights and the updates, it seemed like it was always kind of full of piss and vinegar and much more Cole vibes, but as a hitter, but he seems to be way more chill and relaxed and fun. Rizzo homers right after him in the first game in Baltimore, and he's just celebrating and cheering. And his interviews have been as Yankee as they get, but feeling natural, like just sharing love and on all his teammates, like the Nestor love, the Sevy love, but honest. He was like, yeah, Sevy, they battled for a little bit. Then he came down and just sat him down. He was like that one inning. So I've really liked him.
We thought he was going to provide the fire, almost Brett Gardner-esque fire and veteran side. I think the productivity, and there's a little more attitude and like new guy respect that this is Judge's team, but I'm going to be me. I'm going to be Josh Donaldson. And Jim, I noticed this and I love it. When he hit the opposite field homer in the first game of the Orioles series, he circles the bases. He's stoked. He just hit a home run. He should be stoked. He steps on home plate and he was more excited to get back to the dugout and celebrate with the fellas.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. Like, that's who he is. Like, yeah, I just hit a home run. Let me get to the boys.
Yeah.
And that energy is infectious. And I think it's just the definition of when you hear guys say, like, I love having that guy on my team, but I hated playing against him. I think that's Josh Donaldson to a T. And I'm a sucker for third base defense, man. And some of the plays he's making over there are high-end elite. They're not as cute / soccer goalie as Gio. They're very much more baseball.
Yeah.
But they're nice.
The on-base streak that Donaldson had or has is 22 games, 21 starts. So they did throw a pinch hit appearance in the 8th inning where he got a hit. So good for him to keep it going. In those 22 games, this dates back all the way to April 19th. And I don't think you'd guess that the numbers are this good. Because it didn't seem like he was producing incredibly until a couple weeks ago, or like the last 10 days. Oh, I just got a
little bit of an echo.
Yeah, huge echo right now when you unplug that.
Hello. Beep, 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 beep.
Test.
Josh Donaldson. I am the bringer of rain.
Hello.
I am the bringer. Okay.
Echo. Good. In that 22-game stretch, 91 plate appearances, 270 batting average, 407 on base. So I know the numbers you read are great. I just didn't realize it dated back that far.
Yeah.
500 slugging.
It was kind of a conversation that kept getting put to the side because Joey Gallo's struggles were so prevalent that Donaldson was kind of an afterthought, that it was like, hey, we got bigger fish to fry right now, because his defense has been good pretty much the whole season. He was struggling at the plate, and it was kind of getting covered by other guys. But yeah, he is full blown rolling now, and his batting average has gone up 70 or so points. The OPS has gone from the 5s to right below 8. And it like fully passes the eye test.
Yeah.
Fully passes the eye test. The way he gets on top of balls with his swing, really cool.
I know we're going to guess the lineup earlier, but with these two guys being hot, with Glaber doing his thing, do you see the need? Like, I think you and I both are very much in the best lineup right now is DJ, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, 1 through 4, and just rinse, repeat unless someone's getting the off day.
Yep.
If Gallo is in a stretch, would you rather put him 5-hole to split it up against a righty and then Donaldson 6 and Glaber 7? Or do you have any preference? Donaldson has been 5 a lot. Gallo and Torres have both been 6 the same amount of times. Gallo's been 7th a bunch. I don't think Donaldson, he's hit 6 twice. I think he's going to be the 5th hole behind Stanton.
Yeah. They want that. Remember early in the season, we talked about leadoff Donaldson and how quickly that experience kind of ended. If Josh Donaldson looks like this, he's the 5-hole hitter. I think Gallo's a little more comfortable down in the lineup. I think the thing that becomes interesting for me on the Gallo side of it is the protection aspect, because it actually goes both ways. If Kiner or one of the catchers is behind him, Does that fuel Joey Gallo's on base numbers? Or if he has protection and he knows he's going to get pitches to hit, is there value added there that pitchers have to come at him that can maybe bring the big swing? And that's what he's trying to do at the plate. So
he's had Kiner behind him probably 80% of his starts or 90%. So that's interesting because he puts the ball in play.
Right. So I don't know. I'm willing to experiment. How about that? Like I'm willing to tuck Glaber behind Joey. Maybe put Donaldson and Glaber behind him a couple games and see if that changes any of the results. If not, like I think that's where I start really getting excited for this Yankee season because Joey Gallo. We talked about Donaldson, and for me, the whole feel of Donaldson, like he has been an elite player for the last 2-3 weeks now, and I think you can feel that. Gallo. Even with his hot streak, when you cut up the numbers, it's an interesting watch because it's new baseball, and sometimes it doesn't feel – there's almost an Aaron Hicks parallel, except more power to Hicks's kind of more contact. With that being said, if Joey Gallo is doing what he's been doing the past 3 weeks, and he's doing that from a 7-8 spot – I love it. That's a highly productive ball player from a spot in the lineup that not a lot of teams have production from.
I like that. Hicks is a really interesting pivot point here.
So we can talk about it. Should we make a bet?
Would you bet?
Yeah.
From this point forward, Hicks spends more time in the 9 hole than anything 1 through 5?
So 9 hole verse 1 through 5 with Hicks.
Just to give you a little update on Hicks.
Yeah, I would.
9.
The 1 through 5 is tough to crack, bro.
They tried him there, and he was there as recent as 7 games ago.
Yeah.
And
I guess he'd have to be like
4 times in the last 10 games.
That'd be like a specific to get him
4 times in the last 12 games. So Hicks has batted leadoff 9 times. He's batted 6th 9 times, 7th 6 times. He's never batted 8th, and now his last 3 starts have come 9-hole center fielder.
Yeah, and let's be honest, it makes sense, man. I mean, Aaron Hicks gets on base. That's one of his top skills. So if he can do that from the 9-hole and flip the lineup order over, that's some of our best memories of a young Glaber Torres are being in that 9-hole and turning it over to the top. If Hicksy is in the lineup, that 9-hole is a fun spot. I really don't mind, and that's, again, where this Yankee season is so fun. If Aaron Hicks is a 7, 8, 9 hitter, like there's really good value there, man. I was kind of laughing during the White Sox series because I think there's a couple games where Gallo was 6 or 7 and Hicks was 9. And whether you like their approach or dislike their approach, pitchers have to use pitches to get through there. Like that Kopech start, he was kind of getting tortured. Like they take close pitches. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But when Kopech, a guy that was struggling with his control and having a bad time, you're kind of in a torture chamber. Mm-hmm. There's other guys around the league that are going to bail you out. Joey and Hicks aren't going to do that. So when they're at the bottom of the order, I'm happy with it either way. And I'm almost in this, we know what's going to work for this team. DJ, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton. The other stuff, let's play around with it and hope we stumble into something cool.
Barring a drastic change, a month-long injury, I think Hicks has to be 9-hole or bust right now.
Okay.
He's having a bad month right now. The numbers are really starting to fade, even the on base.
Yeah.
And Gallo can pop one, and also takes pitches and walks. I like Kiner as a 7. I really like. I mean, I don't think Hicks is in my favorite lineup. That's as clear as it's been. The Towers have been my favorite lineup the whole time, especially with JD, Glaber, DJ all doing the thing. So I guess that's the point. Right now, Hicks isn't in the best lineup. He may have been earlier in the season, but if he is in the lineup, someone's getting a day off, I think you got to go 9. It does stink to then have zero power at all. 7, 8, 9. Like we're talking between the three positions, the shortstop, the catcher, and then Hicks in center field. We're talking 2 homers on the season. And we just got the second yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, Kiner can do what he's doing. He doesn't need to homer. It's not his measurement of success. Hicks kind of was a guy that could pop some, but he's got an injury that's really tough to have power from afterwards. So, yeah, you can do it. But, I mean, say we have a big series against the Rays or the Blue Jays coming up again. The best lineup for me is the Towers, and then you put Kiner 8, catcher 9. That's it. But if Hicks is in, I think they've been trying to experiment the whole time. They've been trying to find a home for him. I'm glad they attempted the 9-hole because once you crack it, it's cracked. I would keep him there.
Yeah, I mean, Joey Gallo, we're always going to have that first 2 weeks where he truly struggled in our heads. And by the way, Hicks was gangbusters. They flipped. I mean, Gallo's numbers basically across the board are better than Hicks except on base, which Hicks is actually still high up on the team. So it's going to be something to track. Like you said, with Hicks's power, is it gone? That wrist sheath injury is no joke. He has 5 stolen bases this year. His on-base percentage is actually 3 points lower from number 2 on the team. So there's still value to be had there, even if the power is not there. If the power does come back, that changes the conversation again. But also, you know, Hicks's arm. I'll go back to 2017. You guys know I bring this up an odd amount. Sometimes I wish I didn't bring it up. Jacoby Ellsbury was on an absolute heater heading into the 2017 playoffs. I know he evokes a lot of emotions from Yankee fans. Aaron Hicks played over him while he struggled in a couple of those playoff series because his arm in defense was special. The arm's currently not there. So on-base percentage, plus he could still track down a ball, but without the arm strength and the power, you know, if it's between him and Gallo, yeah, right now for me it's an easy Gallo.
That scenario with Ellsbury and Hicks, and Ellsbury was on a heater that September, but it wasn't like a full year of hotness. But anyway, going defense, punting on offense from center field in the playoffs because you want the defense to shut down the running game and catch the balls is of note for Kiner, and he needs to make those routine plays because come postseason,
right,
they will go. If the other bats are swinging, the Yankees have shown it. Shortstop, catcher, center field, they will go with the glove over the bat if the other positions are swinging.
Yeah, and we did get some word from our guy Trevor Plouffe. We talked about it on Talking Baseball that the Chicago White Sox infield is notorious. So
yeah, that was funny. It is. He said no. That is. Yeah.
So yeah, it's something to watch with Kiner. Watching the development, like we said, we love Kiner off the field is 110% Yankee with the quotes, and the next day he showed up at the field early to get work. We love it. We feed off that. That's what fans are all about. Like you said, and I'm in the same boat, Kiner Falefa's bat has been enjoyable this year. That different style and the way he's been contributing has been kind of fun. With that being said, come the postseason, we're not relying on IKF's bat in this lineup. No. We're going to circle the big boys and say, hey, here's 5 or 6 guys. If these guys are clicking, or at least 3 of those guys are humming, this Yankees team has a real shot to do something special. If they get shut down, they get shut down. The other guys, it's roles. And Kiner Falefa was brought in to be a defensive shortstop, and he's going to be a streaky hitter. It feels like we've already seen that. It looks like he might be starting another heater, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, when the injury bug does strike this year, whether it's in the infield, the Yankees have 2 young guys on their 40-man roster that I think they want to give a look to this year. At least Peraza. So it's of note. IKF has been enjoyable this year. You're right. Some of the shortstop stuff has been suspect. You suspect. And hey, maybe we clean it up and we say, wow, been a really good month from IKF. Or, if that stuff's lingering, it becomes a much bigger combo.
They're fixable mistakes.
Would you ever go
routine? They're routine. So just clean it up.
Would you ever go to DraftKings Sportsbook and make a bet?
I would. I have blue shirts and probably probably 3-1 victory tonight.
You think so?
No, I probably 4-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you can do is go to the DraftKings Sportsbook, bet on New York, or DraftKings is actually the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. A little fun fact.
It is.
And what new customers can bet is $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets no matter what. That's win or lose. You place the bet, you're getting $150 coming back. That's a pretty nice deal. So what you should do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY. Bet just $5 and get $150 in free bets no matter what. That's promo code JOHNBOY at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And be trademarks used with permission.
I have two quick topics that I did not tell you I was going to ask about because I didn't know. I'm asking about them right now. They can be quick conversations.
Feed me.
One, Miguel Andujar is absolutely raking in AAA right now.
I love that.
I don't know his stats, but I think they're...
You want me to get there?
I believe they're funny. I believe they are silly.
He's hitting 400 at the major league level this year. 2 for 5.
2 for 5. Okay.
It's Scranton Wilkes-Barre, 303, 361, 861.
Okay.
OPS. So
I believe I think if you go to game log, if you were to do the game logs, I think like lately it's crazy. Anyway,
heater.
They've been trying to trade him for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I am looking at teams right now who have not been getting production out of the DH spot that may be looking for trades. Do you think any of this is possible? Do you think any team would pick him up to be the DH? Teams that I'm seeing right now, and I don't know who their DH is, so I don't know where the struggles are coming from. But Minnesota hasn't been getting a lot from DH, but they actually rotate it, and I think they want to keep the rotation. The Marlins, they've made trades before. They aren't getting production. Padres, but I think they have guys, and I think they're going to trade for other guys. Diamondbacks. And they're going to try see if someone will grab Andujar. Thoughts? I don't see him cracking this team as we're going to be searching for defensive help more than offensive help.
Yeah.
Come the deadline. What do you think happens with him? Quickly.
I love Miguel Andujar. I think the Yankees are kind of a stand pat with Andujar unless his value came up. The only way his value is going to come up at this point is not at AAA. It's at the major league level. They have the option for this year. If they traded him right now, again, his value really isn't much. The Yankees would get a young, probably piece to take a flyer on.
Reliever or something.
That
not like minor league, that AAA reliever. That
I would rather have the insurance of Miguel Andujar and hoping to find that if the injury bug does hit the Yankees, and we've seen Stanton play right field. If the DH spot opens up for at-bats for the New York Yankees, and this isn't BS for me, I'd be open to an Andujar conversation.
Oh, wow. He's basically just Stanton insurance.
He's
not
Stanton.
And not to replace, but, that's the only way he would
in a way that he's Stanton insurance. In a way, he's like Donaldson insurance. If one of those guys goes down, we've been talking about the rotation.
All right, so I agree with you there.
DJ goes to third, Glaber would be at second, and if you play Stanton in right, Miguel Andujar is one of the better DH options. So I'd say Andujar is off the table for now. If he came up, DH'd, and played well, then I think trade bait is on the table.
Okay, but I agree with you there, that they should just keep him around. But what if a team comes calling and they offer a AAA reliever that has a cup of coffee and options and years?
You got to let the Yankees be the Yankees. Everything's a cost equation. I know our guy Max Manis, shout out. Max gets involved with the socials and stats for us. He was scouting out who could be the next Clay Holmes.
Nice.
And he found a guy, I think Gabe Spire.
That's awesome.
No, some real deep cut Yankee stuff. If there is a Miguel Andujar trade, don't get me wrong, there's going to be a moment of sadness for me. But, was there a moment of sadness when we trade Mike Talkman for some guy we didn't know in Wandy Peralta? And now look where we're at. Clay Holmes. Remember who do we trade for Clay Holmes? Hoy Park. And someone else. There's a lot of Hoy Park stands out there. Who'd you rather have right now? Hoy Park or Clay Holmes? So
that was a bizarre one. No one had ever heard of Hoy Park, and people acted like they've been following him his whole youth career.
If he broke out for the first time in his minor league career, whatever.
If the Andujar trade breaks, don't get 18 season offensively of Miguel Andujar. But you gotta kind of trust the Yanks, and let's be honest. Right now, he's played 2 games this season for us. Like he's not a part of the recipe. So if it happens, I believe in the Yankees. If not, there's, for whatever reason, I normally don't do this. I just think Miguel Andujar can hit. I really do. I think if you throw him out there for 130 games, I think Miguel Andujar hits on any team at any ballpark. I think he has that I would love to see it again for the Yankees. And then I don't know if he becomes, when we start talk postseason rosters and stuff like that, whether it's Miguel Andujar becomes a valuable piece of trade bait again and he gets the opportunity he deserves in a Miami, in a Pittsburgh, in Arizona, wherever that happens, I love that for him. Or, if he does come up and he does hit and September comes and we start talking postseason roster and we have our catcher platoon, who knows what shortstop looks like? Like, could Miguel Andujar be like the biggest hitting threat off the bench? It's not the craziest thing you could say. Craziest thing I could say is speech.
I'm just on Gabe Spires.
You're on Gabe Spires' page.
He's 5'11", which is against him.
Right.
Johnny Laza exists, but otherwise the Yankees like beasts up there. Throwing his 4-seam fastball 24% of the time, and it just gets absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
So 1 dot slugging on his 4-seam fastball. 2 hits, a double, and a homer. But stop throwing that, I'd say, Gabe. Anyway, my other question, quick combo for you. Yeah. I think it's a fun conversation. I don't want people to get annoyed by it or upset by it.
Sure.
I'm putting it at a 0.5% likelihood, but there's a world where I love it.
Okay.
We've heard a lot of players. The Yankees have done it. We've heard players and other teams planning on doing it. It's the thing that exists in sports. A veteran that says, I think I'll sit out the first half of the year and come back the second half of the year. Is there any world after the reports that Brett Gardner turned down $6 million from the Blue Jays and turned down money from another team? Is there any, I have it like a little under 1%, but I love the notion of it, that the Yankees have some agreement, and maybe Brett Gardner said to them, like, I don't want to play a full season, but if you need me at the deadline, if you need me, if there's an injury or you want to move on from someone, I'm staying in shape for you guys. Happy to be retired. I'm not going to go to another team, but I'll stay in shape because if you have an injury and you need a back half player, I'll be around to answer the call. Like, is there any chance that is a situation in your brain?
You have that at less than 1%.
Not that way. I changed it halfway through.
Okay.
I have it as less than 1. That like it's the plan. Like the Yankees told Brett, we're gonna give you a call in July. Like it's that. Now if Brett tells them I'm gonna stay in shape, happy for being that I have that maybe on Brett's side like 100%, and the Yankees side like a shrug, like okay, Brett.
Yeah.
And then if like Gallo was to go down, like maybe like they do. I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun world to live in, just as like kind of like fan fiction.
If a Yankees outfielder goes down,
are they giving him a call?
Whoa. I guess something that's out of our head right now, Tim Locastro and how fun he was for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, if Tim Locastro was healthy, would he be on the roster?
Maybe not in this stretch of crazy pitching. They might have toggled it because they're a 3-man bench right now with Clark up, right?
Yeah, might have sent him down for a 10-game stretch at some point in here
in
anyway.
Between the 30 games, a 10 game, like in the middle ones, but then he'd be back up. Yeah, I mean, they loved him pinch running and hitting, so yeah, he'd be on the roster.
So that's where, okay, if it's Clark, that makes sense. If it's not Clark, then it kind of goes into that Marwin conversation we've talked about. I think Brett Gardner is ready and available and wants to play for the New York Yankees. I think that's become very apparent.
If Gallo goes down or you get a huge return for him, is
any outfielder. I don't know about the return part. I think,
like you're saying, it's
Here's what I'll say. I don't think the Yankees have a actual plan where they say, okay, we cut bait on Gallo, Brett Gardner.
That's what I was putting fan fiction at less than 1%. Like
that's just fan fiction.
But if you're saying defense is the priority with all the other bats, who plays the best left field in recent modern Yankees history?
It's Brett Gardner. No, I think it's injury. I think it's injury. If it happens, I think everyone will go nuts. Because right now our backup outfielders are Tilo and, Estevan Florial, who I like me a little Florial too. But it's Brett Gardner. It's Brett Gardner, and man, you talk about making a World Series DVD. That day, August 11th, when Uncle Brett walks through the doors, you guys couldn't get it done without me, could you? No, and I know there's some Yankee fans that might be grimacing a little bit. Hey, if you didn't like Brett Gardner, it was either for weird stuff or, he kind of, during some of his older years, he broke down toward the end of the season. Because guess what? He was an older baseball player, and he played every day for us. So, yeah, if you're going to talk me into a fresh Brett Gardner somehow involved with this team down the stretch, yeah. But I think it's got to be injury-based because Tilo exists. What Joey Gallo can be when he's right is a much better player than Brett Gardner. And then, Stanton, Judge, that's not even a conversation. So
to do related to this topic, there's Florial people out there. You just said you're one of them, kind of. He's in his last option year, and he needs to play every day. Pitch recognition's a big issue, so I don't think he's coming up to be a fourth outfielder for a stretch at any point.
I'm talking about
this is we need a starter
defense,
or we need a bench player. He needs to be a starter playing every
starter.
That's what
left field needs a defensive starter down the stretch. That's the world I was painted. We've ever seen someone play at the new Yankee Stadium.
Gardner,
that's a fact.
At the new Yankee Stadium.
The new Yankee Stadium
come off the bench.
Easy caveat.
Yeah.
All right. Running towards the end here. We're going to do a little bit of the... Nah, we're good.
I guess it's mostly who do you think sits tonight, just for fun? They sat Judgy.
I'd have to look at the game logs.
When was Stanton's sit day?
Stan played right field last night.
Judge is obviously in. Hard to imagine. DJ got his DH day yesterday, so I assume he's in the field.
I'm going to go with... Loading.
Donaldson's hot as he can get right now.
Jordan Lyles and Bruce Zimmerman. You want the lefty on the last day. You need
Stan has played 5 days. He sat 6 days ago.
Feels like it could be a Stan.
Rizzo sat
recently.
Sat recently.
Judge sat recently. It would be like Donaldson.
LeMahieu.
DJ DH'd yesterday. Glaber's been kind of the default person.
DJ's played 7 in a row. Could be Gallo after his night off. My guess is Hicks. Does that even count?
I don't know if that even counts.
Because then it's not a rest day. I'd say Gallo. Hope Stan plays. He's so hot right now. Just keep him going.
It's hot.
And he told Cameron Maven what everyone else knows. He plays better when he plays the field because he is more engaged and his muscles are being used and he's not cold on the bench.
Put that in at the top of the episode when I said things that we thought made sense, but we didn't have confirmation.
Yeah.
Stanton plays better when he's in the outfield. And by the way, looks pretty good. It's smooth.
Yeah, he looks fine.
He
DJ had a
the
rough
reputation
night.
of a good
DJ might be
outfielder
an
in
option to
Miami.
sit. He had a rough night yesterday.
DJ could, yeah, he struck out. They would almost be mean to DJ. That's like his nightmare.
Yeah, like don't make me sit in
It's
this.
like his version of hell.
And he was the DH last night, so he's gonna be like, just play me in the field and I'll be fine. Activated muscles.
My guess is Towers or Gallo sits. Hicks out and the Towers are in, or Gallo sits.
I've got a fun question for you.
Yeah,
Playoff game was tomorrow night.
yeah.
Who do you have DHing?
Glaber,
Yeah?
probably.
Look good at second.
He's looked good at second, but I DJ looks good too. Good DJ or Glaber?
I think it's DJ for me right now. Glabers look good.
Glaber can hit off the bench. I don't know what DJ's DH numbers are.
All right.
What do you got a short playoff game tomorrow?
Florial. Mix it up.
Let's see it.
Go nuts. Baby deer at shortstop. It's like Florial has an extra limb.
Think so?
When he runs, it feels like there's a third leg.
Could
Oh,
be. I
hello.
haven't checked.
Hello.
Cool.
Joe's McFly.
Goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.
Little pregame show coming up in a little bit.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We got a bit of a day.
Love you guys.